Hey everyone. All right, so today we're going to have a new episode of Coach Sarah Joy Talks. I'm excited for today because this is going to be a very interesting conversation with Katie, who is a spiritual social strategist. What that means, we will have her break it down. But before I bring Katie on, I wanted to do a quick introduction. So if you're new to me, welcome. My name is Coach Sarah Joy. I am a certified transformational nutrition coach, and I do have a degree in health and fitness. I was sick myself for over a decade from hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, and after my brother got killed, I started figuring, I threw the medical system aside and I was like, you know what, I'm going to start. Hi, there you are. I'll bring you on in a second. I'm going to start figuring out all of my own root causes. So it was, hey, what's up? Hi, Sterling. It was in this journey of trying to recover my health that a lot of spiritual doors were open to me. I started working with incredible master Reiki energy healers. I learned about shamanism. I have a current shaman that I'm working with. I've gone down a lot of different paths in the energetic realm. I've become really close friends with an extremely gifted psychic medium, and I've mentored and trained under her. And I never knew when I was like, fuck you, medical system. I'm going to, restore my energy, that I would be sitting here with you guys 6-7 years later as a gifted psychic medium with flat 5 clear gifts, just being able to talk to angels and intergalactic beings and who knows, what comes into my realm on a daily basis. But what I can tell you is it's been such a blessing. It has been such a transformative journey. And now I seem to magnetize incredibly powerful women to me as well. And I would say that with the highest compliment in regard to who I'm going to bring on today. One of the things that I've noticed about women is we're magical. We all are very powerful and we're very magical. The majority of people are waking up to their power, their magic, and their gifts. And I love being able to talk about mine because I think that it encourages and inspires you guys to be able to wake up and explore and find your powers. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my gorgeous gift on today. Let's see. I'm going to send you an invite. So it's through these conversations that I hope to trigger something deep within your soul. There she is.
Can you see
Hey.
me? Can you hear me? Hello. Coming live from the park. I needed some grounding today. I figured you wouldn't mind.
Oh, of course not. If anything, it's provides us with a beautiful background to stare at on top of your gorgeous face.
Come on, Mother Nature.
Yeah, right. Could never go wrong with her. Right. So let's put our hands together. Big welcome for the beautiful Katie. What is your last name?
Katie Marie is what I go by in this beautiful realm. So you are free to call me KT, Cosmically KT, Katie Marie, but I am just a friend to all. That's what we know.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Yeah. Well, I love Katie Marie. I don't know what it is, but I have a thing for multiple names. So Katie Marie.
I love that so much. I'm just so grateful. I want to say thank you so much for having me on and in your beautiful space today. I'm just honored to witness and be in your journey. I have, of course, been in your, there's a beautiful Elsa song going by right now. Let it go. Let it go. I have just been so enthralled by your journey, and even your intro there talking about how your journey on your own health led you to spirituality, because that's kind of where I started too. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's start there. Do you, okay, so your bio says that you're a spiritual social strategist.
Yes,
Let me look at my notes. And you focus on ancestral, generational, inner child, and spiritual healing. Those are all very, very powerful. And if I hadn't of worked with a shaman and to heal my own lineage and bloodline and remove a lot of entities and curses on my bloodline. I wouldn't know what you're talking about, but I do. So I love that. So let's go into it. So where did this start? Start at the beginning. How did you become a
Oh,
spiritual social strategist?
well, it's funny. You start from the beginning, and it really it kind of shows you where your ending was and your rebirth, right? So for a very long time, I don't know. Sorry about that. Now you can see me. For a good portion of my life, I was a elementary school teacher. So I actually graduated with a master's degree in elementary education and was a elementary teacher for the past 7 years. And recently reinvented my life. Of course, the whole time I have been deep into my ancestral heritage myself. My dear great grandmother gave us each Cherokee names whenever we were children, so she always made sure that we were very connected. She was a poet and a beautiful writer herself, and my family has always just found a lot of joy reaching into our own cultural heritage. And I think that led me into my spirituality. As a kid, I loved crystals and I loved making potions in the backyard. You probably identify with me there a bit. And throughout, just growing up in life, I found my way away from spirituality, funnily enough. And but then the more I found myself and the more I kind of connected with myself, I understood that my inner child knew what she was doing. She was trusting her gut, and she was following what her ancestors wanted her to do. And it has been a journey of finding my way back to that. And because of that, I opened up Cosmically KT so that I can assist others on that path of like the transformations and transmutations of, the ego death and the re-realization of, oh, this is my purpose. This is who I'm supposed to be, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what was your Cherokee name that your grandmother gave you?
So my name is Chisqua Naniwea, and it means singing bird. Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
that's beautiful.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
props to
and usually,
grandma.
and I'll add a little extra here. Normally, at this moment, normally, a lot of people don't know my native name, so a lot of people don't know me as Chisqua Naniwea. But at this moment in time, I am feeling, because normally natives don't share that side of themselves, but I am feeling confident in this space. And I am feeling confident in my roots at this moment, and I'm hopeful that my ancestors hear that name very loudly in this space, and they are welcoming that. So thank you so much for asking that question.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
personally think that's badass. I don't think it's anything to hide.
Yes,
Like,
badassery.
I'm
Thank
like, you need
you.
to rock that
Thank
shit, you
you,
know?
girl. Thank
Put it,
you.
yeah. Like, hello, not all of us are walking around with some dope ass Cherokee name. Like,
You're amazing. Thank you for the vote of confidence.
yeah, for sure. It's so funny what you say because like I had this moment where in high school, I like looking back, I'm like, I knew exactly who I was in high school. I knew exactly what I wanted and who I was, and I was solid in myself. And then as I became an adult, I like got
What
so lost.
happened?
I
Yes,
know. And I'm
yes,
like, I've been trying to go back to like who she was because she was dope, you know?
yes. Our inner
Yeah.
child and our inner teen, they need us desperately. They were trying to show us who we were. We just didn't want to listen.
Yeah. And then it's like a little bit of like just growing up in
Yes.
society and all the programming like fucks with your head and makes you fall apart. And then if you start getting sick, you really lose your identity, So there's a lot of factors that can disrupt that. And it
Yes.
is hard to come back to it. But it's important that you at least recognize that and then like start that journey.
Yes, I love the word that you use, the deprogramming, because that is such an influential part of like kind of like what we're doing here, like what you and I are doing, elevating that consciousness and really undoing the programming that can happen because the body will show us whenever we are not in alignment, right? The body pushes us to unhealthy situations, right? Maybe whether it's a sickness of the mind or a sickness of the body, it will show us that we're not in alignment, right? And it will push us to these ways to hopefully say, wake up, try something else, take care of yourself, and go back to who you are. Drop the programming, shed the ego, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Ooh, you just gave me chills because when I hit about year 8 of being chronically ill. I
yeah,
mean, I was at my darkest point. I had
Mm,
25 symptoms. I
right.
was so depressed,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
depressed and unhappy. And I called my friend from church from, just sheer desperation because he was acupuncturist. So I knew I
Wow.
could confide in him.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I need you to pray for me because I had no spirituality of
Yeah.
my own. So I had to borrow his faith.
Yeah.
And he's like, absolutely, come over tonight. So I remember we met in his living room and he prayed over me, like literally put his hands over me and prayed on me. And it was within that prayer and like the guidance that I got afterwards that I was told that what was really happening to me was I was spiritually sick
Yes.
and I had lost my way spiritually. And
Yeah.
that's why all of my symptoms were manifesting because I was betraying myself in every way.
Yeah.
I was staying with a narcissist.
Yeah.
I was, just like blinders. I don't want to look at my real life and just like going down a really dark hole. So, you know, yeah, you just triggered that memory in me and like how when we come back to ourselves and we really start fucking owning who we are and following our intuition, that's when you can blossom and really actually like regain yourself and your path and your direction again.
Yeah, it's amazing because we have been sold so many stories about. I feel like a lot of the stories we've been sold are band-aiding the symptoms, right? We have like you said, you had 20 plus symptoms because we treat a lot of those symptoms. We band-aid the symptoms and we just push them to the side. But like if we actually took a second to look at the root cause that lies within, the body can do miraculous things. It can
Mhm.
actually start to begin the healing process and start to really code those things on a molecular level and do some amazing things.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's just, I'm just in awe of your story. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. And you're right. And I tell all of my clients that, like, when we're working together, I'm like, listen, when you start taking the approach to who am I? What do I want? What makes me happy? Listening to your body, getting back in tune with yourself, looking at your life
Yes,
and being honest with yourself and really actually opening your eyes for the first time in a long time and then giving your body what it needs on all levels, mental, emotional, spiritual and physical. Your body is a miraculous healing machine and it will change. It's inevitable. It's
exactly.
inevitable. Yeah.
Exactly. I love that you say it's inevitable because that is what is supposed to happen, right?
Mhm.
We are supposed to heal. We are supposed to evolve. We are supposed to change. And I think a really essential key point in that is knowing that we are not alone. We are all going through this together at the same time in the same chaotic environment. I mean, we are all creatures of change and evolution. And the only thing that we can depend on as a constant is change itself,
Yeah,
right? So with
for
that in
sure.
mind, like let's metamorphosize, right? Let's all butterfly out, right?
For real.
Yeah.
I've done that like 700 times. It's so fun.
Yeah,
The
one
follow
on the
part is
clock over
scary,
here.
right? I always remind my clients when your life hits the fan, it sucks and it's never fun. But that's the part of the metamorphosis. You will come out better on the other side. Just have that faith.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that's the beautiful, and it's always like the hard part of the journey because that's when the clients are usually like so saddened and dampened, right? But like for us, it's like, no, this is the
Yeah.
great part. Keep going. I'm there
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, you just got dumped. You're gonna
Way
get
to
fired. You have to
go.
quit your job. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you've released it, you get something back. I know. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it that you're here with me in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never stop changing. Absolutely. In the comments. It's so true. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of this, yeah, good. I'm glad that resonates with you. So
Yeah.
speaking of we're never alone. We are literally like I can tell you guys, like, because I talk with spirits every day, like, we're
Yep.
literally never, ever alone. And I know it's hard for people that don't talk to angels and ancestors every day to comprehend that, but I want to, like, emphasize that. So tell me about your experience with that.
Oh, yeah, girl. Well, it's funny that you asked that, and I'm so grateful that we have this live now because we had it scheduled previously, and then we had to postpone it until today, and I think it was meaningful because of this question. I recently came back from a medicine ceremony where I was able to really dive deep into my ancestral roots and heal a lot of generational traumas and blockages within my own chakras, and really kind of had a spiritual awakening along the way. And I love that you asked this question about spirits. Because along this journey, I realized I was reawoken. You know, we never really forget. It's just, you know, it's the remembering of what we're doing. Um, so I remembered that I am actually a dream walker for the Cherokee tribe
Ooh.
this past week. And what that means is it is an important skill to go on vision quests to the spirit world, to talk with elder hearts and bring those lessons back here with us, because the
Wow.
spirit world is in constant interaction with us, and they are in constant wanting to speak with us and assist us on this path if we just open up our subconscious just a little bit to that idea.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're a dream walker?
Yes, ma'am. I am in the flesh. It has been quite the revelation, but I've been doing it since I was a child accidentally. Now I'm hopeful to be able to do it purposefully and bring those channeled messages through now that I am a ripe 30 years of age.
Wow. So does that mean that you only get contacted in your dreams?
So sometimes it does happen in dreams, but what a lot of people kind of refer to it as like a lucid dreaming
Mm-hmm.
state. So it's like a lucidity. So I can um, dive into lucidity with things like, you know, fasting, raising the body temperature. A lot of times they had sweat lodges for this reason. Meditation, you know, going into oneself. I found that even a Kundalini session was really helpful, like some sound healing to kind of put me in that lucidity state.
Okay.
And from there, I can kind of search for whatever spirit I'm looking for. This past week, I wanted to find the spirit of love, and it showed up to me in a beautiful flower, a field of flowers, and it just had one important thing to share with me, and this is probably why. Love is joy, and that's all that it is. Follow your joy, and you will find love. Yeah. Yeah.
Mic drop.
Oh, I mean, right, and that's the universe, right? That's just
Mhm.
straight from the spirit world.
It's so true. One of
Yeah.
the things that I always feel like when my clients, grandmothers, grandfathers, uncles, mothers, whoever, you know, and it's always usually first generation to second generation that shows up, I've noticed. Um, but they are literally the ultimate cheerleaders.
Yep.
And their energy, when I feel them, they are always so positive and so full of I'm proud of you. I love you. You're doing so good. I'm here for you. You can talk to me even though you may not be able to hear me. You can still talk to me. I'm going to give you signs so you know I'm around. Like
Yes.
they are pure love.
Yes.
And because I've been able to feel that from so many ancestors at this point, that I can feel how on the other side, like I'm no longer scared of death
Right.
because
Because you know that
I
it
can,
doesn't mean it's gone. It doesn't mean it's over.
well, not only that,
Not
I
only
mean, right? Like everyone still exists, even though we
yeah.
lose this physical body,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the vibe of the other side is so
Mm.
loving. It's insane.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
being
And
wrapped in a blanket of pure love.
this is the thing that I often have to tell people too, and I'm just so glad that you put it that way. Like, just it is a place of pure love, because a lot of people have issues connecting with their generational lineage because they have issues with their karmic families here, right? They have issues
Mhm.
with the relationships that they have on this earth side, right? That they forget that they have this loving group of people that were once humans. So give them a minute. All of your ancestors were human, everybody. So give them a second.
Yeah.
They've got things that they're going through as well, and things that they're undoing. But they are there because it is your job to undo all of that stuff. It is our job to undo that generational trauma, and they are there to support us because they're clapping the whole way.
Hmm.
We are their victor. You know, we
Yep.
are their shining star. They have specifically selected to do this job for us. We say what we need, and they're going to run in that direction to assist us if they can. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You are so 100%
Yeah.
correct. And in fact, so I've been breaking a seven generation curse, like women deep curse
Seven.
on my mother's side
Mhm.
of women that were go like like point like pushed to the direction of men that were alcoholics, abusive, and broke.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they showed me visions of how every generation there's been like a weeping, sobbing woman with a very, scary husband who's an alcoholic, and like money is, it's
Wow.
just so it's been brutal. But so I've
Mhm.
been able to break through all of that. I have broken that.
Way to go, girl.
And
I've got goosebumps right now. I can feel that energy. Way to go.
yeah,
Generational curse breaker. Come on.
yeah, and I
Woo.
do think that a lot of us that are here on the earth
Yep.
now, we are like saved for the last days because we're the strongest ones and we are
Yep.
the generational curse
Yes.
breakers. And we're the ones that can heal the lineage. And I just want you guys to know that, like, I just saw this last week. I was giving readings live on my live last week,
Mhm.
and they showed me that there is a golden rope, a golden thread that intertwines through the hearts of everyone in our family tree, past, present, and future. And no matter what we do, it resonates and vibrates through that golden thread, and it affects everyone in the past, and it will affect everyone in the future. So don't ever think that like we're not connected to our ancestors, no matter, like you said, if you think they're crappy people or you had abuse or whatever, like it's there.
Yeah.
It's meant to be. We choose our tribe, we're contracted to our family. And so yeah, I just, you're like triggering all these memories in me when you
No,
talk, so sorry.
I loved you. No, do not, no apologies needed, because I love what you said about the golden threads that connect us. Because in my work, I have often dealt with cords. The cords that connect people, the energetic cords that we bind whenever we work in entanglement with people here on Earth side, and we have those bonds of entanglement throughout our lives, and it is our job to find those golden threads, right? Those golden threads of bonds. And we have to shed all the other ones before we can find those beautiful pieces of other stars in our constellation, right? So, like the Cherokee, they believe that everything on Earth is a reflection of a star. So, like you beautiful star being, you beautiful star seed, star child, whatever people want to call it, have a beautiful cord connecting you to another star, right? That is a part of your constellation. And when we all are walking on that natural path that we're supposed to be walking on, our purpose, right? Our purpose, we find all of those people attached to us with those beautiful golden ropes that you said in our constellation. And then we can make change, because we are sent here at the end of days to come together with our constellations and raise that consciousness, raising the vibrations. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I
Yes,
love that.
that's beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love that you interpreted that into the Native American
Wow.
concept too. That's beautiful. Thank you. I hope you guys are enjoying this conversation. You guys are more than welcome
Yeah.
to jump in. I mean, we're kind of geeking out because we're just
Of
now
course
meeting
we
each
are.
other.
Yeah, I've
So,
got 10 minutes left on my phone. So, hop in anytime, guys.
yeah, if you guys want to ask a question or join, or if you've had any cool experiences like
Oh,
us, like we'd love to hear.
yeah.
So I have that you are a emotional healer. You heal with plants. You break cycles. You work with parental wounds, and
Yes,
something about a medicine wheel. So feel
girl.
free to expand on any of those and the services that you provide.
Well, as you know, or may not know, the medicine wheel is something that I have really been diving into in my practice and trying to understand how the natives wanted life to be, right? And of course, there's 4 quadrants of the medicine wheel, and they all stand for a different direction and different things. But what I find the most interesting is that the center, the part that is often left out, the core of the medicine wheel, is the human aspect. Right? So, if anything, what I would like to just talk about for the medicine wheel is just reminding us all that, our humanness is what is needed. It is at the center. Our emotions, our love, our joy, our purpose, that is what is truly needed, right? So, all of these things that we could say, oh, I'm running around in my day, I'm going from here, I'm going from there. At the end of the day, what is needed is just you, just purely you, right? And as we already said, we are not alone in that journey. And sometimes it can really feel like the healing journey is one that is done alone. And it doesn't have to be. Your ancestors are there with you, right? And there are people like us here to kind of walk along that path who have like taken that with stride and said, I want to show somebody else what I learned, right? Because it is so vital. And that's what I'm doing. Like, that's all that we're doing here, right? I just want to share the things that I've geeked out about and learned and loved about my Cherokee heritage. So I do sacred natal day readings. If anybody is interested in a sacred natal day reading, I'll tell you a little bit about mine. I am the rattlesnake tooth. And what the rattlesnake tooth is the shaman or the medicine woman for the tribe. And it is their job to be the guardian along the way and tell people how life is supposed to look whenever we live in reciprocity with the earth, and how to show people a way out of scarcity mindset and back into the reciprocity and abundant mindset that we were founded on as a civilization before we were colonized. So
Yeah.
in those sacred natal day readings, I really want to showcase the idea that we are all from native descendants, right? We understand and we are well aware we all come from indigenous peoples. And these sacred natal day names, along with a lot of other things, were taken from us. And I believe that it is our essential job to get these back, because their purpose was to tell us our purpose. Such as, can you imagine if I was a little child and they were like, hi, little girl, your job is actually supposed to be a medicine woman. So now go make potions and have fun. Imagine what I could have become by 30 years old, right? And I
Oh my
think,
God. I'm laughing because
right?
I have something to tell you when you're done. Go
Girl,
ahead.
I'm just like saying, like, it's just so insane to me. Like, my partner is a different sacred natal day. She's the whirlwind, and her job is to connect the consciousness, like the ideas that are in the consciousness, back to ground level to make it to where everybody can understand them. So it's not so lofty. So she's really great for me because I can talk very lofty sometimes. And then she's like, okay, let's talk real talk right now, you know? So every sacred natal day, there's 20 of them. I've been on a hunt to meet all 20 sacred natal days, has something very specific that is their job to do in this world. And the funniest part about it is usually that is the thing that they are most scared of doing.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how does a natal reading work? Do you channel? Do you have a graph? Do you go off a birthday?
Yeah, so for sacred natal day readings, it's pretty much similar to a birthday, but the only thing that we have to take into account is when the sun was in the sky. So if somebody was born at like 2 a.m., right, the sun was not in the sky yet. So technically your sacred natal day is on the day before, whenever it was your sun sign, right? It's our solar return. So the only difference is we just have to calculate the time, and make sure that the sun was in the sky over the place where you were born. And at that moment, I can kind of calculate a little bit. And back in the day, they had a daykeeper calculate all of this, give it to the midwife, and then the midwife would give it to the mother, and it would become part of that child's name and assist them in what they were supposed to do. So what I do is I have a little chart that I do. I'm going to have to update it later whenever I run out of sacred natal days. I have a baby that asked me to do a sacred natal day, and I don't have theirs. So I'm only doing them for adults now. But I do a little bit of geometry around the medicine wheel, and whenever I find your sacred natal day, it delivers your 7 correspondences. So that is like your herb, your stone, all of the earthly elements that bring your sacred natal day life and love and peace and prosperity and harmony, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it talks about, of course, your place within the cosmos. We know this. And my favorite part is it reveals a shadow dance that each sacred natal day plays with themselves. So this is the person that we all know and love, that we talk to deep at night when we are in bed. They are the ego version of ourselves that we probably saw as a teenager. You know, they're the person that we giggle with, that we know, oh, this is how far I've come because I know who I used to be,
Yeah.
right? So during these sacred natal day readings, it's always really fun to laugh at your shadow dance. And we always do this little shadow dance to say, hey, this is your shadow side. But the reason I do that is because your shadows are powerful.
Mm-hmm.
They are our deepest protectors whenever they are used correctly, and we harness them with our light, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is a little bit of the sacred natal day reading. After that, we dive into a somatic journey that I cultivated to be able to come face to face with your ancestors on the ancestral realm.
Oh,
Yeah.
so is that like communicating with them, like channeling them?
Yeah, so we actually I dived into a somatic journey with you, and I take you to the ancestral realm through meditation and through some sound activation, and
Mhm.
then we allow your ancestors to give you a gift. There has been lots of gifts given. One was an emerald fiery heart for a medicine woman that I know and love. Another one was a rattlesnake egg that hatched. So there's been a lot of gifts given. Oh, and another one was a drum. I loved the
Huh.
drum. So there's been a lot of gifts given to the recipients of these sacred natal days, and each one of them has taken them differently. So it's almost like the ancestors want to give them a special gift, right? It's because like for their initiation in a way, and it means something different to everybody. But we, in that sacred natal day reading, we have 3 days where we're just talking, and we have like a session afterwards that I am able to digest and download and integrate with them. And we can even look up like, the spiritual meanings of like, what does it mean if my ancestor gave me a drum? What does it mean if I saw a bird, or just anything that might come through? There is usually an integration period, and I have heard from clients like even weeks later saying, oh my gosh, you'll never guess what just happened, right? So it's something that once you open that gate, it just keeps giving.
Wow, that
Yeah.
is so unique. I have never heard of that. I mean, I've never explored the Native American, ways. And this sounds, I gotta do this with you.
Oh, yes, you do. And everybody who wants to join me, if they see me on this live, just message me and be like, I saw you on Coach Sarah, and you're all gonna get a little discount. Don't you worry, so we can do Sacred Natal Days, because I want to share this information.
Yeah.
I want people to know their Sacred Natal Days because it is powerful. For example, I know a couple eagle spirits, and if a Thunderbird joins the chat, you'll know, because Thunderbird spirits are here to share the word and share it loudly, I might add. And a lot of the
Sounds like
time they
it.
don't want to speak it, but they know what they're talking about, but they're always kept quiet, right? So this is another reason why I want to share the Sacred Natal Day information, and I want to get it out there because I think that it is power, and I think that people in line with their purpose are very powerful.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, girl. Yeah.
I found that out. Yeah.
Period.
Damn.
Yes, you did. And look at you now. That's right. Queen. That's right. That's
Wow,
right.
you guys, that sounds incredible. You definitely need to reach out to her and book a session. One of the things that I found, right? Like when I was kind of at that point of like, well, nothing within the medical systems has helped me. So let's explore
Literally.
all of this, and I just had that open mindset of like, why not just try everything?
Yep.
This has been the most powerful way that I've actually recovered, unlocked, and opened myself to where I am now. And I'm always going to have this mindset. And I think everyone should too, because playing around with your identity in the spiritual realm of any kind is, well, not of any kind. I mean, obviously not black magic or anything like that.
True.
But yeah, is it's always going to show you things of yourself that you had no idea existed.
Exactly.
Everyone in my family, for example, including myself, like last year when I decided to come out of the spiritual closet and announce
Right.
that I was a psychic medium,
Yep.
I mean, it was like bombs dropping, and my nieces, my mom, everyone is just like, what the F? Like, how did
Yeah.
this suddenly come out of you
Mhm.
so strong? And I'm like, I truly think it's because I've been doing so much deep meditation. I would spend a lot of time in the forest meditating with trees, which nature enhances your ability to connect to yourself
Yep.
and the other side. And I honestly was doing all of this just to be able to like not date dickheads anymore and not be sick anymore. And
Literally.
it like unlocked
Literally.
all these doors
Yeah.
of me to be able to change who I am. So, you guys, like exploring all these fun, different little energetic ways that we can learn and dig into ourselves and connect with the other side is highly recommended. So yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds so
no.
cool. I can't wait.
Girl, yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, before I started my spiritual journey, I was in bed every day. I woke up with vertigo. I couldn't get out of bed without throwing up, vomiting. I couldn't get to work.
Wow.
I had used all of my sick days at my job. I was going from doctor to doctor for them to tell me that I needed this medicine, this medicine, this medicine. I was on all of these things, and then finally I said, I'm done. I'm going back to the plants. I'm going back to nature, and I started making my own herbal teas. I have a Godex transformation tea that only has 5 herbs, and it is fabulous. It leads you through the transformations in all of your life. It cleans out the liver, heals the kidneys, and also helps the skin and the hair. You know, it's a beautiful little like thing that the plants presented to me, along with smokable herbal blends to assist in headaches and to assist in dream retention and memory retention and bringing these things to light, right? Like Dymania and all these beautiful herbs that like we have never been told about, you know,
Wow.
and all of these wonderful things that are so healing and right here ready for us to use.
And is that a free document that people can request your teas?
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. You can look at my teas. I've got on my highlights on my Instagram. You can check out my Godex Transformation tea. And I am always available if somebody wants to just DM me and say, hey, I'm having this issue. What do you recommend? I have made teas for people who are experiencing like certain things, you know. That is definitely something I offer at this moment as well, for little potions for you, and for your loved ones, of course. I am also really into discovering the medicines of the plants because they are our first teachers.
Hmm.
They are here to give, and I believe that if we ask them, they will give as much as they possibly can.
It's true. It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
Plants are medicine in so
yes,
many
they are.
ways. It's
Yes, they
incredible.
are.
So how much battery power do you have left?
I have 3%, and I'm so
Shit.
sad that we can't continue. But hey, I think that we should have another one of these calls sometime later. I would
Absolutely.
really, really love that because this has been such a beautiful conversation for me, and it has filled me in such ways that you can't even imagine. So I
Oh,
just want to say thank you for
yeah.
this live today, and thank you. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome, and thank you. It's always fun for me to be able to geek out spiritually with people. It's like not something that you can talk about with, most people. And so when you find
Exactly.
someone who gets it, it's really fun.
Soul sisters, kindred spirits. We knew the moment we hopped in each other's Instagrams. Real knows real, girl. Yeah.
Done.
Yes.
Right? Love it.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys, you can go follow her on her page, Cosmically KT. It's cosmically underscore KT. Obviously, I'll tag her in this live, and then do me a favor when we're done and just shoot me a message of like everything we talked about, like how they can book a session,
Yeah.
what they offers, and like all the things you described, and I'll put it in the
Yes.
captions below so that they can read it and hook up with you.
You're
Thank you guys all for
amazing.
being here.
Yes, thank you all for
And
being here and for joining in this lovely conversation. Check her out and do all of her readings. She is doing the real deal right here. And this is your girl. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. All right, you guys, sending you so much love. Katie, I'll talk to you
Bye,
soon.
girl. Love y'all. Have a good
Bye.
day.